Right then, Neon, take one.
Well, hello everyone, back out there. Chips is here. You can't see him, but he is here. He's just come off the trail, been riding this bike. This is the new Stumpjumper. And you might think that it looks very similar, very familiar, and that's because, you know, to all intents and purposes, the silhouette of the bike is quite similar, but the new bike has changed quite significantly. The main focus for us was to change the riding characteristics, the geometry, and incorporating those two things to significantly reduce the weight of the bike. So I'm going to talk you through a few of those bits and pieces, just so you can really get, you know, the gist of what we're trying to do with this new Stumpjumper. First off, we'll talk sizing. So you know, you're familiar out there of small, medium, large, and extra large. That's our normal sizing parameters. 4 sizes to fit everyone. Well, with this new bike, we are talking 6 sizes. Now, that means that you've got a lot more options as far as which bike you choose to ride, because all of the standovers are incredibly low. So all you are talking about sizing is your reach. And the reaches go up incrementally from an S1 all the way up to an S6. Hopefully, that means everyone is going to be able to get that reach measurement that, you know, is so key at this moment in time with mountain biking. So sizing is a big change. The geometry of this bike is 65.5 degree head tube angle. It can be changed with the flip chip on the shock, and about a 76, 77 degree seat tube angle, depending on, again, where you've got that flip chip set. So you've got a little bit of adjustment here, but really we wanted to focus this bike as a pure trail bike, you know, a lovely riding bike, which is why weight is a big part of what we've tried to achieve with this bike. You'll see the weights have gone down significantly to really allow it to be a nimble, fast riding, great handling bike. So we talked about, obviously, the sizing. Another key area that we focused on is the kinematics. You know, the kinematics on a bike is the way the suspension works. It's how the bike feels when you're pedaling, and it's also how the bike behaves when it's hitting small or big bumps, and all those things that we encounter on a daily ride. We really wanted to make this bike nimble, like I said. So that means that, you know, you had to have a platform that you could use to ride over the small bumps and the bike react. But when you're riding in the bigger stuff, it doesn't get hooked up and slow you down. So quite a few nuanced details in the suspension kinematics. Something that I could sit here and talk to you about spring curve, or stand here and talk to you about spring curves and things like that. But really, you want to ride it. I'm sure Chips' review will focus on that as well. So we've got short offset forks, 44 offset forks, and I'll tell you about the travel because the travel has changed. We're now looking at a 130 rear end and a 140 front end to the bike. I was going to do that the other way around, but you get the idea, 140, 130. And with that 130 back end, on the carbon bikes, you'll see that the bike has got a complete unified carbon rear end. No horse link to speak of. It is there on the alloy bikes, but on the carbon bikes, it's a one-piece carbon back end, which again goes to saving the weight on this whole platform. No horse link, that saves about 55 grams in hardware. I know it's nothing, but when you add up all those pieces, 55 grams to an engineer is a big deal. So, different back end on the carbon bikes, same geometry, alloy to carbon, so you're getting the same ability to change the shock set and adjust the head tube angle. Same short offset forks on the alloy bikes as well. Same travel on the alloy bikes. And all of the bikes from top to bottom are obviously fitted with all those things that you would expect. They're all boost, they're all threaded bottom brackets, they're all internal cable routings. And with the carbon bikes, you also get the SWAT technology that we introduced on the previous models. So that hasn't gone away. No SWAT for alloy, as you can understand why. Anything else you need to know about? New compound on some of the tyres, and I think everything else you should be pretty familiar with.
Very good. Right.
don't think I missed anything.
Good
I
stuff.
probably didn't pause enough.